Hi, this is Nancy Woods here, and I am climbing this mountain SIBAYAK. I have to say that this is my first ever experience climbing this mountain, which has had volcanic activity. I just want to explain to you or talk to you about my own experience as to how one can feel when you're climbing a volcanic mountain. To start with, when you're at the ground and the plain level, everything is okay. But as you start to climb up, I just was very anxious when I started to climb the mountain, and I just had to stop for a while, have some water, and then of course I started to climb up the mountain. My group was of French people, which I lost on the way because I was a very slow climber. But having said that, I just wanted to climb up. Although I had not decided to climb up this mountain, I then decided that I would just walk a little bit, and if I felt too tired or anxious, I would just come back right down. But I have to say that my emotions, what are running through me right now, and my feelings about climbing a volcanic mountain is very, very different to what I thought I was going to expect. Obviously, it's never like climbing a normal mountain, because here there's a lot of volcanic activity, and even the surrounding vegetation and the mountain areas. You can tell how nature and the rainforests in the vegetation, the greenery around me here. There are rare kind of botanical plants growing. There's rare trees, very ancient trees, some of them. And of course, the soil in this region is very, very different. As I was walking up, this was my first mountain experience on a volcanic mountain. I felt that the ground had also kind of changed, where the sun cannot get through, when there has been a lot of rain like last night. I felt that in certain parts it was quite slippery, but it was like had mounds on it, and you had to just climb over those mounds for quite a while. And I have made a recording about this in my earlier video. But here, why I'm recording this is because I just want to show you this narrow path I came through. I'm not sure if the camera is going there, but I'm just going to try and walk down here. But you just see this the stones over here are like quite different, and it's a massive drop, and it's all white color. See, like that. It's like all white, which is rather quite different. There's white stone, like see this one here. It's white, and this is white as well, and this is like very sandy. You can see it's not like, it's like sand, but white color, obviously because of I'm quite not far from the top of the crater now. But also, as you walk up, you have to be very careful because there's a massive drop. And it's quite windy, so the camera can also kind of fly off here. You have to take a lot of precautions. They always advise you come with a guide, and I can see that why now that is. There's lots of foreigners who take these expeditions, and some of them, I have to say, don't come back alive, especially some of the researchers and social scientists and botanical and researchers who have come here for their research purposes. But this bit here is extremely narrow climb. And this is like about 25 minutes away from the crater now, but I just stopped here because I was very much overwhelmed by my own emotions as to what it is to climb a mountain which has had some sort of volcanic activity, and why environmental scientists, they are always sending aid to these countries where there are environmental disaster zones because of the natural calamities. Of course, I can say that here it's the beauty around these mountains, and there's a lot of mist at the top there, but also even in the backdrop. But even the plantation and vegetation, they're so nice and gentle and so peaceful and quiet here. Flowers here which you will not find in the mainlands or in the urban areas. It's all very peaceful and calm here. There's a gentle breeze blowing as well at the moment. And I guess these kind of emotions are running in every explorer's mind as to what, when they're climbing, what goes on and how they feel when they're climbing up these kind of mountains. But the drop is massive already. Not sure again. And this is the Mount SIBAYAK in Berastagi in Indonesia, north of Sumatra, which is very famous tourist resort. But you have to be really very careful, because the only real way of coming here is by buses, transportation, or maybe by taxis. But there's nothing else really like transportation wise. Even this mountain, it's just rustic. It's just the way it is, very close to nature. It's not really as commercialized as I have been to other places and visited. It's just you're left on your own, and you can just climb up this mountain if you want to as well. And a lot of people do that as well, and they have their own adventure or their own self-convictions that make them climb these places. But I just put this on a recording because I felt that as it was my first climb, and I was very much intrigued by this kind of observational analysis that I underwent climbing this mountain, I just felt I wanted to speak about it. So I'm just that's why having this conversation with you. So if you are coming to any kind of a volcanic region, you can expect that the climb to the mountain is going to be somewhat different. It's more like an observational basis where you will see this the ground level change, and where you will see the vegetation. It's like any other mountain climb, but volcanic mountain is always slightly different, because it has the mountain itself reacts to the undercurrents of heat and cold and to nature's. So therefore, obviously, when it erupts, then obviously everything around it moves and changes, and there are some signage of that, just little bit of signage as you're climbing up this mountain. But you can see how even in certain levels, it's like where I'm standing right now is white. You can see this white, and like chalk, and in certain areas it's like yellow. See this yellow, and certain areas the sun doesn't come through, so it's a very, very different climb, obviously, I have to say. So thank you very much for listening to my tape, and I hope you've liked it, and I will definitely see you again with more recordings. Thank you. Bye bye.